Previously on Raw Danger.
Into each and every life, some rain has got to fall. But too much of that stuff has fallen into mine.
Well, hello once again, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Raw Danger. My name is Nathan, and this is Raw Danger for the PlayStation 2. In the previous episode, we continued playing as recovering amnesiac Ivan Kozlov, who appears to have been a researcher on Project Echidna. And more about that, we are not sure just yet, although pieces of the memory are starting to come back to us in the form of brightly glowing crystals. Isn't that fun? So at first, a quick pan around the area to survey the damage and get a quick sense of where we are as I hang out near the trash can fire here with this lady whose name escapes me at the moment. Although actually it turns out when I eat with her that we don't actually know her name. I couldn't decide if I just had heard it and couldn't remember it, but it turns out Ivan actually has no idea who she is at this point. And from what I've seen in the memory options or menus, there's not really a way... There's not an option for remembering who she actually is. So we enjoyed a meal together, and then it was time to head on with our quest. Heading down this truck here, it looks like there's another place to launch our boat and head through the hole in the building there and see if we can't get a little closer to our ultimate goal of returning to Ivan's apartment in hopes of finding some more information there. And so, as we get to the bottom of the truck, you go back into the use, fire up air mattress, and off we go. This is probably fine. This building, as you can see, is actually sideways, and so apartment doors are swinging open here and dumping furniture on our heads, almost. Which is a little bit frightening. And we get buffeted by some larger waves. And rained on quite a bit. Probably time to get moving. Not a moment too soon.
Let's go.
I'm always impressed by the way that people can narrowly avert these enormous disasters and life-threatening situations in these games and then just stand around and say, all right, well, let's get moving. I mean, I think I'd be there for probably a few minutes just sort of yelling obscenities probably and trying to, like, just let the adrenaline go out of me. They're all just masters of their emotions.
To your apartment. Do you remember anything?
I lied a little bit. The building doesn't really look familiar.
Maybe you'll remember.
I wanted to see if it would
more
unlock
things
a
were
memory
inside
crystal.
your apartment. Let's go.
Or fragment, rather. Well, that looks like Angelina off in the distance, and the load screen, if you noticed, did say that we are in the Angelina area, so it's always nice to be back here. But I think I have an inkling of what's about to happen next. If you remember from much earlier on in the video series, some paths are about to intertwine here. So when I regain control, of course, my first impulse is going to be to go down there and just check up on her, make sure she's okay after all that. But I'm also pretty sure she will be because I've rescued her in the past, which is also the future. Timelines, man. Gets confusing.
Oh.
Geese, what should I do? The second option seemed a little too accusatory, so I went with...
Are you all right?
Yes, I believe so. But I think I'm stuck.
Well, I think I need to find help. Or I could just ditch her, again. Really tempted by all those
Going to
options.
go look for help.
Please, hurry.
Maybe someday it'll be time for a second playthrough of Raw Danger where I just do all the worst possible and meanest options available. Could be fun. And so, with that, I decided to head to the intersection where I remembered meeting myself. And there I am. There we are,
My
rather.
friend is stuck under some debris. She's in danger.
And
Please, help me
Joshua
get
is
her out.
looking pretty good.
Okay, I'll help you.
Good. Come with me. Hurry.
And so I get to trot all the way back to where the woman is trapped.
You hold that side, okay?
Thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you so much. You saved her life.
I'm glad she's okay. I have to go now.
By the way, she looked really tired. Why don't you give her something hot to eat and let her rest? Be careful.
I'm okay now. Let's go to your apartment.
And so, everything is fine. As you can see, I'm quite drenched in the corner, and I'm losing temperature now, for sure. So I decided to also go to Angelina in hopes of being able to access the
This is your apartment. Let's go.
the stuff that I knew that was there for warming up. First, we make a quick stop at my apartment, which is right here. And I did throw on a hand warmer in the meantime, as you see. But first we're going to alter the timeline slightly and go visit ourselves at Angelina. See if we can't take advantage of some of the services here. Well, the game lets us in the door. Don't see Joshua there, but we can still get at the stove in the back. The woman's going to warm herself off of my butt, apparently. And while we were here, I decided to pop into the stock room and replenish one of my foods that we ate previously. Just had to take a quick look around to make sure there wasn't anything else interesting that they had put in there. Oh, there they are. So I can go say hi to my past life. It says we need to help one another in situations like this. I wholeheartedly agree. Anyway, I'll quit bothering you now and stop altering the past. And we two are going to head over to my apartment. Down the steps there and across the road. Boy, it must be convenient to live directly across from a place that's as lovely as Angelina. The food in there all looked delicious. It was nice and clean. Yes, we do. So up we go. We get our first look at Ivan's place. And it is gorgeous. It's got an amazing apartment. Hardwood floors, big screen, stretcher there, as you do, apparently. Okay, that is somewhat creepy, but the rest of it is really, really nice. I mean, look at this. The carpet there. Well, okay, the leopard print is a little less tasteful. You can take a look around. More leopard print. All right. I don't really feel like that agrees with the rest of it, but looks like he was just moving in or out, or just hasn't really made unpacking a priority. Here we've got kind of a study off to the side, along with something on the ground. It is the candle compass. It's not as cool as the samurai, but it's not terrible, I guess. Some great big old fish there. Hope you guys are holding up okay, fishies. No, I haven't been around to feed you in a while because I didn't remember that you existed. After this side, we have another stretcher for some reason.
Huh?
And a diary. Why, yes, I do. So the upshot of this is that David Brazil was brought in to work alongside me by someone named Apollon. He's got no sense of humor. You can, of course, feel free to rewind and pause and read these over in more detail. Echidna's going smoothly. David and I are getting on like a house on fire and working well together. And I can't stop thinking about Echidna. I know. All the stored samples were found dead, and when we investigated the cause, it turns out that a slightest electric current will destroy them. Could be good to know. And I get some more memory fragments. I also get my logs. I decided to check on the computer because that was a good source of information last time. Yes, I do. Hopefully it's not a password protected one because I don't think I know that, but it wasn't. And it's some emails from Apollon, the project leader. We're going to apparently take Echidna up to the Cascade Dam and unleash it. Which is kind of terrifying. Apparently I was servant to a supervillain. We were going to do this on Christmas Eve, apparently. A man named Chang Li will be in charge of transporting the containers. I get more memory fragments. There's so many of them. And now I decided it was time to go into my remember area and try and put some of these pieces together. As you can see, I now have a What is Apollon area. But we're going to go to personality first, because I think we haven't done that one yet. I am devoted. Oh yeah, there's still not enough pieces there. I can be devoted. In the Echidna and myself, there are now exactly 4 pieces. Worked with David. The development. Apollon's instruction. And deadly virus. So, on Apollon's instruction, I worked with David Brazil to create this deadly virus and set up to unleash it. The game sums it up thus. We still don't know why, who or what Apollon is, or much more than that. We still don't know who we're traveling with, by the way. Checking on the What is Apollon area, I can see there are more fragments required, but I've only got 5 out of the required 6. And so it's probably going to have to wait a little bit until we piece this all together. A few questions I can ask myself.
I was involved in something terrible.
You must have remembered something.
The container is filled with Echidna. We must hurry.
The dreadful container, the wonderful container, or it's such a lovely container.
I can't wait to destroy that dreadful container.
And get some more personality fragments.
The container is at Del Rey High School. Dr. Spritz is waiting for us.
And we know that Dr. Spritz is waiting for us at the high school. Again, I believe we saw those containers prior to this, when you played as Paige. And if you do the math there real quick, you'll notice I have 3 fragments and 2 spots in the personality column. You can actually mix and match answers and come up with slightly different things. If you go back into the job thing, I unlocked air mattress as a job fragment. And so putting those together, you can actually have the game, or have Ivan remember that he is an air mattress researcher rather than the virus researcher as he actually is.
Dr. Spritz.
School's not looking too good, and it's quite dark by now. I guess we're just going to have to try and find the nearest building and see what we can see.
Okay.
Just before we head down to the water's edge, I thought I would use Remember Memory to finish off the personality column. I now have 3. Devoted, and it was a bit of a toss-up, but I went with Brave as a combination. I think the other one is Honorable, which, you know, working on a deadly super virus kind of seems like not a terribly honorable thing, and I felt like that wasn't entirely being true with myself. Now it's on the boat. So we head out across the school grounds here, past the eerie downed helicopter that you can see off to the side there. Not sure what the story is with that. Everything's rather quiet. Around the corner of one of the buildings, there's a small bit of land that was not submerged with a few items on it. Those being a sweet cloth jacket. Yeah, I'm putting that on. Yep. Looking good.
Huh?
As well as a mask. Knowing that we're dealing with a deadly virus, I felt like the mask was a prudent choice. Along with the coat, it does make me look a little bit scary in the eye patch, but I'm sure it's increased my survivability. At least I'm hoping. For a moment, I glanced around trying to find the boat, and then I remembered that it deflates. Over on one of the soccer nets that have been mostly flooded, there is a statue compass, which I decided to equip. I think it's a little nicer than the candles, don't you? And from there, it looked as though, tooling around a little bit with my awesome air mattress boat, it looked like we could actually get into one of the buildings, and so I decided to boat on in there and see what I could see. You might want to take off your hat there. It's probably gonna get knocked off on the ceiling. Or it's just gonna clip right through. No big deal. There's just enough space to travel through there. But unfortunately, the air mattress is deflated for the last time. Good night, sweet air mattress, and so on. Well, I'm now in Delray High School, these now slightly familiar halls. Hopefully I don't run into Professor Creeperson, or whatever his name was.
Huh?
Perhaps I am the creepy one now for wandering into the girls' bathroom, but it's worth it because there's a cat compass, and it's cute. Now, this is just speculation, but it does look vaguely similar to the Mischief Bank line of little kitty cat piggy banks that you can get online. Just look up Mischief Bank in the Googles. Check out the YouTube clips. They're the little plastic kitty cat in a box that steals your money. It's incredibly cute, and they look kind of similar. Anyway, I continued through the hallways of the school. Came across the opposite side of this scene that we just played out recently, but as I didn't say anything when I played through it just now, I don't say anything when I come across it again. Oh well, that's fine. So we'll follow those ladies. First of all, into the, we'll check into the empty classroom that they came from, which happens to have a survival point in it, so that's nice. Can warm up a little bit here. And I had a geo treat with woman. I decided to follow them and head up to the next floor. to see if anything could be gained from doing that. Maybe I can meet up with the rescue effort. So as you can see, the floor is already cracked. Got to watch that happen in real time last time, but as I get to the stairwell, it collapses before I arrive. There's the dust piling in. So Paige and her tormentor are having their little moment up above on the stairs, but it also means that I can't go any further in this direction. Not up or down. Well, alright, fine. Had to check out the washroom just to see if there are any more cute compasses. And then it was back downstairs to the survival point where woman is waiting. So as you recall, we got to this place as Paige threw a hole in the wall from the gym. And of course the reverse is also true. The hole is still there. And we can head across this sort of makeshift catwalk to get back to the gym. Dr. Spritz is here.
I've been waiting for you. Hurry! Apollon may find us if we don't move quickly. Tell me, how can we destroy Echidna?
How to destroy Echidna.
So this is not a fragment, this is information, which actually opens up the last category in my Remember Memory talent area. So you remember that last box that had just question marks in it, and now it says Method to Dispose Echidna. If we remember, we have 6 spots and 6 fragments, so let's put them to work. Alright, we got Echidna there. Some other stuff. Pretty much you just put these wherever they fit. It's not really a puzzle at all. There's the word die, cause, and dielectricity cause echidna storage under normal conditions is the answer. Or, in more grammatical terms, it's vulnerable to electricity. It's just the order they make you put it in for some reason. In point of fact, I'm not sure why you have to go through a thing of remembering that, because you did just read it off the page in his diary.
How can we destroy Echidna?
Echidna can be neutralized by applying a high voltage of electricity.
Electricity? All right. Help me. We need to hurry up and take the container to...
Oh, see, that's why I'm wearing the mask.
Dr. Spritz!
I'm afraid...
Oh, I mean, oh no, Dr. Spritz.
I can't fulfill my responsibility. You're our only hope now. The container is outside the gym. Take it to the substation in Central District. Please, do the right thing. Save the people.
Dr. Spritz!
And with that, he passes. My reactions are pretty opposite one another.
What have I done? I can't believe my research is responsible for this. Okay, let's go.
So with newfound resolve, we're going to go solve this crisis. However, first of all, we're going to warm up, and I'm going to call that a video. So once again, thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope that next time we can destroy the evil echidna virus once and for all. But until then, we'll see you next mission.